let's look at phase 4, which is implementation. During this phase, the solution is transferred from the paper to the action. The team configures the system and also defines the components for it. A variety of tasks is being taken in these steps. Some of the tasks could be such as acquiring new equipment, hiring new employees, training employees, planning and designing the system physical layout, coding and testing, as well as designing the security measures and safeguards, as well as creating a disaster recovery plan. When an information system is ready to be converted, designers have several different options. One of the options could be parallel conversion. The other one could be phased in, phased out conversion. The other one could be plunge or direct cutover conversion. And the other one could be pilot conversion. So let's look at each of them in details. In parallel conversion, the old and new system, they run simultaneously for a short time to making sure that the new system works correctly. This approach could be costly and can be used only if an operational system is already in place. Now let's look at phase in, phase out. In this type of conversion, each module of a new system is converted, and the corresponding part of the older system is not going to be used and is going to be retired. Process continues until the entire system is operational. Again, this type of conversion might not be suitable in all the situations. Maybe it could be effective in accounting and finance system. Now let's look at the plunge direct cutover. In this type of conversion, the old system is stopped and the new system is being implemented. This approach, comparing to the other conversion, is risky. If there are problems with the new system, but the organization can save on cost by not running the old system and the new system concurrently. So there are disadvantages and advantages to using this type of conversion. And then the pilot conversion, the analyst introduced the system in only a limited area of the organization, such as maybe part of a department. If the system works correctly, it is implemented in the rest of the organization in stages or maybe all at once. As we said, implementation of an information system can be a complex task, and project management tools and techniques can actually help with the budget and the schedules, and even maybe managing communication within the teams. So project management tools and techniques, they can help solve scheduling problems, plan and set goals, also highlight potential bottlenecks in the implementation. Project management softwares can also be used in order to do the cost, time, and resource management, and as well as tracking the schedule changes as well. Microsoft Project and Macro Planning or Macro Planner is actually being used in a lot of organizations to be able to manage their project. Some project management techniques can also be used in order to manage this type of implementation, such as PERT, Program Evaluation Review Technique, and CPM, Critical Path Method, as well as using Gantt charts. PERT and CPM techniques, they can work together by determining the critical path for the completion of series of interrelated activities. This can include all those activities that are extremely important for the completion of project with zero slack time. If any of these activities is being delayed, the entire project could be delayed. Activities that are not on the critical path are more flexible, and those can be delayed without delaying the project. This is an example of a PERT network diagram. In this diagram, you can see several paths that lead from the beginning till the end of the project. The duration of each path is being determined by the duration of the activities that make up that path. Gantt chart can be designed using critical path as well. A Gantt chart lists the completion time on the axis and all the activities on the y-axis. This allows the system analyst to monitor the process of the project and detect any delay in daily operation of the project. If the delay is being found, the system analyst must consider additional resources for that task. This is an example of a Gantt chart. As you can see that each activity has a time that it's going to take to complete that task. So if the delay is being reported, then maybe the analyst or the project team, the manager, they need to actually find somebody else who can help completing that task. Let's look at what is RFP, or request for proposal. It's actually a written document with detailed specification that is being used to request bid for components, supplies, or services from the vendors. It's usually prepared during the implementation phase and contains detailed information about the functional, technical, as well as business requirements for the proposed information systems. Normally, creating an RFP can take 6 to 12 months. But there are a lot of softwares that are out there that can help, and as well as a lot of online technologies it can be used to create an RFP. The main advantage of an RFP is that all vendors get the same information and requirements, so bids can be evaluated more fairly. Furthermore, all vendors have the same deadline for submitting bids, so no vendor gets the advantage of having more time to prepare for an RFP. So government organizations, they normally use this format, the RFP. It has some disadvantage, and one of the major disadvantage could be that it takes time in order to develop it and in order to evaluate different proposals that you get. Some websites such as biz3.com, technologyevaluation.com, and clarity.com, they all provide samples and templates for RFP. So if you want to start creating a RFP for an organization, maybe you can look at each of these websites. Given the need to complete the information system project as quickly as possible, shortening the time needed to write and evaluate proposal is normally necessary. Another alternative to RFP is called Request for Information, or RFI. So in this technique, you screen the document for gathering vendor information and narrowing the list of potential vendor. So this is not going to take you as long as the RFP will take. An RFI can also help manage the selection of vendor by focusing on the project requirements that are crucial in order to select vendors. RFI has its own disadvantages as well. It's not suitable for complex projects because it can be used only for selecting 3 or 4 final candidates from a list of candidates. So as I said, normally in a big project like government projects, they use the RFP still.